Hello, this is your worst enemy, and I'm going to talk about a game that came out not too long ago on the PlayStation Vita. It's called Resistance Burning Skies, and a lot of people were looking forward to this game. You think, how can they mess this up? You know, just make it a shooter, make it play well. Make the online work, and you'll be good. It'll be selling like hotcakes. And you might think, well, we must be having a lot of fun playing online together. Well, no, that's not fucking happening, because Resistance Burning Skies multiplayer does not work. It hasn't worked for 3 days so far, ever since I got it on launch. And that's just unacceptable for a game of this high caliber, a game that was this anticipated for the PlayStation Vita, to not have the multiplayer work, because that's what most people bought this game for. So I can't really offer my opinion on multiplayer. I know nothing about it except that I can customize my loadout, otherwise I can't join a single fucking game. But I'm going to talk about the single player, because if the single player is any indication of what the multiplayer will be like when it finally works, then this game really sucks. The campaign has you playing as a firefighter. His name is Tom Riley. He's on his way to a routine fire at a power plant, and things go wrong pretty quickly. It turns out that he's in the middle of a full-scale invasion of New York by the Chimera, an alien race that basically infects other humans, brings them to their side. They're unstoppable. They've already taken over Europe, and now America is under attack. Sounds like a great way to start off a story. We're going to have large-scale battles. It's going to be just epic. But it isn't. You don't visit a single landmark that would be recognizable as a New York landmark. There's one point in the game where you're on a boat and you float past the Statue of Liberty. That's all you ever see that would remind you of New York. Other than that, it just feels like you're in some generic 1940s city in the United States. The environments are all bland. They're what you would expect from a shooter. The only level that I would say actually stood out was a level on a bridge and a level in a protection camp, or whatever the hell it was called. Those were the only ones that actually had more colors than just brown. But the textures on this game, sometimes they look amazing, like console. Sometimes they look like it's still a PSP game. And the story isn't even paced very well. There are a lot of points where the game tries to be emotional or capture the full-scale conflict or try to make you sorry for the main character, but never nails it. It's also sort of disconcerting when all of the civilians in the game look pretty much exactly the same. And characters die, and you're not even sure why they died. It feels very convenient, and it doesn't feel like New York is being attacked. It just feels like you're sort of doing some small act. And that's very disappointing. And even more disappointing than that is the gameplay, which features no variety whatsoever. All you're doing is shooting. You're shooting guns, and that's it. There's no turret section. There's no vehicle section. There's no variation. There's no reprieve where you're just walking or exploring. There's never any of that. It's just streams of Chimera coming out of nowhere. You have to shoot them, Next room, more Chimera. Next room, more Chimera. And the game is short. It's only 6 levels. And each level lasts about 45 minutes. So you're talking about less than 5 hours of gameplay here. So this game is not worth $35. Please, do not buy this game. I know you might be looking for a first-person shooter on a handheld, but you do not want to play this. At all. It's not worth $35. Wait for maybe for the price to drop to about $15, and that's being generous. Anyway, Resistance Burning Skies gets a lousy 4 out of 10, and I hope nobody has to experience this piece of shit. I'm your worst enemy. I'll see you next time.